Hi, we are live on YouTube. And you know what? I'm just going to go off, but it's going to be based on stuff that I've watched and I've listened to. And like many of you have endured, I have no people or advertisers or anybody that I am beholden to. Okay. I'm going to give you the honest truth in my mind. I hate that word, the truth. Redact that. I'm going to give you my take. The truth is the truth, not your truth or my truth or their truth. The truth is by itself. So redact that again to me. I'm going to give you, and I don't care whether it takes 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm going to pull a tale from Howard Stern, who became so engrossing and so original and so interesting and so genuine. And yes, credible. Why? Because he had has genuine feelings. Granted, he's put himself in a position where he doesn't have to worry about shit and background and repercussions because Howard is of Howard. I give you honesty in my book. I don't have to kiss ass to these assholes. And by the way, this is really not for everybody. Maybe the kids should go watch a rerun of American Idol or whatever. This is for adults. I know a lot of you say you like to watch me. I took a couple of days off because I had frankly had to decide how I'm going to move this forward if I'm going to. I need your help, but that we'll get into later. I'm listening to KCBS today because I have no life in that regard, right? I'm trying my best to have a clear head to see if there's an ounce of anything good that they do, God forbid, but they don't. They don't. Now they have an excuse. Oh, we're bankrupt. Our parent company treats us like shit. Yeah, no, that doesn't not enable you to still hire these high schoolers, these people that are frankly beyond embarrassing, for God's sakes. I noticed what KCBS does now lately. This is how putrid they've become. They did a story about how beautiful Fremont is, raising a family, the schools, yada, yada, yada. A few minutes later, there's a advertisement from the Fremont Chamber of Commerce or something like that. Geez, I wonder if that's a coincidence, KCBS. They also did a story about, and it's a legit story, about the AAI, Asian American and trans or Pacific Islanders getting a lot of grief. Next thing I know, there's an ad. So what they're doing is they're taking ads, and then I guess they promise the folks behind the ads will do a news story. Is that fucking shit or what? And again, I know it's KCBS. I know they're owned by Odyssey, which is a pile of dog doo and crap. But my God, listen, folks. I keep telling you, listen to KNX in LA. Listen to WINS in New York. Give us 20 minutes, we'll give you the world. They still have quality people. And we have this garbage, this pile of fucking dreck in the Bay Area with these half-ass reporters who don't know shit. One reporter now, and she thinks she's spectacular. There's a woman named Kathy Whitman who screamed, KCBS! What the fuck is that? Every report she ends, KCBS! My God, where's Bob Melrose? Where is Barbara Taylor? Well, I know Barbara Taylor passed away. Just today, Wednesday, the brilliant duo of Brett Burkhart and Patty I'm a Genius Rising did an interview with some guy from CNET. And they were talking about the fact that the internet is becoming home AI to a lot of traditional media companies. Okay, off the face of it, fine. But they go on and on and on like it's a revelation. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah, the New York Times is in bed with Facebook and with The Athletic. The New York Times doesn't have a sports page anymore. You have to go to The Athletic and you got to pay. That's the way it is. So they're talking to this guy who's boring, and they go on and on and on. And Brett Burkhardt, who thinks he's the modern coming of Harry Reasoner, these horrific, stupid, asinine questions. Oh my God. Yeah, the Chronicle. Yeah, you're in bed with KCBS, and KCBS is in bed now with the Standard. No big deal, KCBS, but you make it sound like everybody else except you is in bed with these new media companies. Why? Because they're internet based, whether it's artificial intelligence, whether it's whatever. Yeah, welcome to the new reality 2024 KCBS. Maybe you could talk to the people that look at pictures of their grandmother's spaghetti meatball recipe on Facebook, which nobody reads anymore or using anymore other than older people. The kids are going to TikTok. KCBS makes it sound as if, oh my God, we're going to have an interview with Ian Schnurr or Skur, whatever the hell his name is. They suck. They're horrible. And by the way, and I've said this a million times, I hate to repeat myself, but in this case, it's worthy. KCBS runs less than 5 minutes of actual news per hour between traffic and weather, which is repeated every fucking 3 times, or even more than that, an hour. We now got to hear on and on and on and on and on between the actual commercials, which, by the way, Odyssey, which owns KCBS, is going to get every nickel it can. So they hemorrhage KCBS. But KCBS, they can manage it out a little bit. Fake it. Try to, at least. You get less, folks. You get about 3 minutes of actual news on KCBS on drive time. It is beyond an abomination. It's disgusting. Where's the FCC? Oh, never mind. That's another story. What a disgrace. And this traffic people lately, and these sports people, the schnub that they have on sports today, Pittman, Shitman, this should be his name. I'm being brutally honest. You're damn right. Where do they get these people? Uber drivers and, public school teachers that are substitute teachers. It's a disgrace. What a bunch of obnoxious assholes. Hey, I need a job. KCBS, can you hire me? You have any experience? No, come on aboard. You're cheap. We're cheap. What disgusting shit taking place. We have no sports station, radio station. Our news stations are putrid for the most part. There's a few good people. It's awful. And I'm going to lay it out. And whether I take 5 minutes or 10 or 20, I am going to do it. I'm not beholden to anybody except you guys. You make me or you break me, perhaps. So please, yes, contribute if you like me. Even if you don't like me, contribute. Because I'm giving you the real deal, not the syrupy bullshit. These other fucking media sites that steal from me. You're goddamn right I'm angry. Yeah. But I can be pleasantly happy in the next breath. Isn't that lovely? And yes, do you like my Oakland? And fuck the A's. Fuck the owner of the Oakland A's who wants to move them and has on his way to Vegas. But that might be another issue for another time. And plus, it's not media related. KBR with their stupid hosts and Greg Papa, you nothing bastard, and Johnny Lund, John, and the morning show. God, you guys make Frank and Mike look like the second coming of Paul Harvey if you had a morning show, for God's sakes. These morons. The giggle station, the giggle leader, not the sports leader. Folks, I look, Some of you have commented on the backdrop. Some of you said this and that, the other. Well, we like it, we hate it. It's a bedspread. Folks, this was ordered for me. This was somebody who is a regular, a supporter, who has donated. Thought I would look more professional, even when I get a little crazy like this, having that as a backdrop. I was confident enough of my content, of giving you a mostly nightly, daily take on Bay Area media and opinion and news and scoops, that kind of a thing. But somebody said that looks pretty damn good. Look, I don't have the resources, ladies and gentlemen, or the time to put up, graphics. One day, God willing, you help me, I will get to that. But for now, you're either going to have to like this, and I think it looks pretty goddamn good, or don't like it. Somebody said, I'm going to be totally honest with you and frank, not that I haven't been, if you watch me long enough. Oh, the swearing, the swearing. Folks, this is an adult program. I don't say put the kids away sometimes. Kids watch me, they get it. They're smart. And when I say kids, kids that are in their teens, they're smarter than you think. They understand. God forbid they're swearing or he's swearing. Oh my God. Meanwhile, they're going to movies that you let them go to where there's exploding heads and murders and people getting their throats cut. But that's acceptable? Come on. Come on. So they say some swear words. Give me a break. Damon Bruce. Damon Bruce used to be the sports host at KMBR, most recently the game before they got rid of him. You know what? I can't stand Damon Bruce. He's an egomaniac, but beyond self-control. Guess what? I think he's actually talented and funny. He probably isn't going to get a job anymore or anywhere because radio, as I've said a gazillion times, like everybody else, is dead. Somebody asked me, are you against Damon? No. He got married. He got a kid. Got a little house up near California Street in San Francisco. More power to him. I got nothing against him. I call him out, and I will call him out because he's a schmuck at times, and he acts like his shit doesn't stink at times. Occasionally, he makes me laugh. It's been a while. I don't know where he's going to end up. He's got a wife that has a pretty good job. They got a kid. So good for him. Folks, I don't take my ego and scream and yell just to scream and yell. I'm actually even doing a disservice to myself by saying this is a rant. I pretty much hate the entire media here. I do. The Chronicle, these assholes, these pimply faced fucking 28-year-olds who sit at their computer, pick their nose and eat their alfalfa sprout shit while they steal stories from me and don't credit me. Does that bother me? You're goddamn right it does. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. What am I going to do? They know. They read me. They watch me, I should say now. And I make fun of them. Am I going to stop? What, so I can get a fucking plug on SF Gate? What does that do for me? Nothing. Let them steal from me. Let them. SF Gate. Yeah. Hey, honey, there's a purple burrito. Let's go watch it. Let's go eat it. Hey, honey, guess what? There's a blue house on Market Street. Can you believe that? What industrious journalism by SF Gate. I had Frank Somerville right here in my palatial studio. Did they ever quote him? No. On what took place, his decision, his plea bargain. No, the Chronicle, you know what they did? They put a headline up. Frank's going to go to jail. No, he's not. And by the way, I'm not a Frank defender, Somerville. You saw the interview. I asked enough tough questions. I called out Frank, calling him a fucking asshole at times and being used and him using other media sites like Cron. Don't get any favorites here. The only time I'm going to kiss ass, ladies and gentlemen, is when somebody bribes me and says, you know what? We want you to go, but here's a nice parting gift. And even then, this media. I was around, I hate to go this way. When I was your age, Sonny, hamburgers were minus 2 cents. I know, I hate that shit too. But folks, that's what we're at now. Fuck, it is abysmal. Some of these TV stations, I look at the news, right? Oh my God, KPIX, they've got virtual weather. How about talented weather? I like the Pecker, whatever his name is, Darren Peck. A little egotistical, but Peck, get a hold of yourself. For God's sakes, you're anchoring weather. You're not curing diabetes or cancer. I like Juliette Goodrich. Great, great lady. Paid her dues. Smarter than she appears sometimes. She does a hell of a job. Good woman. I don't just rip people. When there's good people, I'll say there's good people. Dan Ashley. I don't give a shit anymore, Dano, about whether you become Mick Jagger or Daniel Burns or David, whatever the fuck his name is. I could care less. But guess what, Dano? That's news, believe it or not. Yes, your contract status. Michael Finney, you long ago left. They canned your ass or you, whatever you did. Did any of the other media sites report this? No. No. Which, if I was Michael Finney, I might be a little concerned about. The fact that nobody really obviously gives a damn about a guy that spent 33 years at a local ABC O&O. But I reported it first. I gave you that. I gave you the Somerville. I gave you 2 interviews. And yes, by the way, thank you. I can interview. I'm very confident of my interview technique. I don't like having sports guys on because they have on these athletes who by and large say nothing. Nothing. They're boring. It's boring. You know what? I'd like to have Jed York on and ask him about certain things. That's never going to happen because Jed York doesn't want to be, semi-cross-examined. And I say that fairly. I would have loved to have interviewed Al Davis. I would have loved to interview various writers, even that kiss-ass motherfucker named Tim Kawakami or Bags, whatever his name is. But they would have had a real interview and not a chance to go on and on and on KNBR and the game and basically give themselves a commercial. Kiss asses. Tim Kawakami. Oh my God, Tim, you're very powerful while you're blocking your mother from your Twitter account or X, whatever the fuck it's called. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm swearing. It's not for kids. Take the kids, have them go look at old Pete Giddings reruns or something. That would be quite a story. I had a guy tell me that he enjoyed watching me. And then there's other people who said, Jesus Christ, you get a little crazy. Well, that's the world we're in. I'll get back to that in a second. He does a Clint Eastwood. Remember the movie In the Line of Fire? I think he plays like a Secret Service guy or something. And he comes home one night, and this is like about 15 years ago. So Clint Eastwood was still relatively cool. He's not looking like shit like he looks to him. And the guy's what, 92, whatever he is. And he's sitting down with a glass of wine, and he's eating spaghetti and meatballs, and he's looking at his I don't know what he's listening to, but it's something akin to a why is it that when I'm on the air, I'm either itching or scratching, my head itches and all. I think it's a conspiracy. All right. But anyway, so Eastwood is like sitting there having spaghetti and meatballs, sipping a good, probably Merlot, and listening to somebody. I forgot. So this guy, Mike in San Jose, gave me the best compliment I ever had. Thanks, Mike. There's other people who think I'm, whatever, fill in the blank. That's cool. Look, your Mother Teresa, you're going to get criticized. The Pope. Look at the Pope. He's just got grief. Hey, good move, Francis. Yeah, let's make a slur against the gays. That'll work. So anyway, but see, that's a point too. Nobody is fucking perfect. Look at the Pope. Mother Teresa, if she was alive, I think she'd shake her head. But even Mother Teresa, wherever she lived, you don't think she stepped on flies when they were on the floor or took wings off of flies? Nobody on this planet is pure, especially KCBS anchors. Another side rant. All of a sudden, His Majesty, Mr. Eric Thomas, the morning drive guy with insufferably boring, sorry, Margie Schaefer, who should be on 4 to 7 during the weekend. All of a sudden, she's solo. Oh my God. And Eric Thomas is MIA. And they don't say, God forbid, he's away, he's on vacation. He just disappears. But you know what? Since nobody is running KCBS, it is the worst, most ridiculous, pathetic, fill in the blank, a news station. Yeah. And I'm John Holmes. That's an interesting analogy. Do you remember who John Holmes was? Never mind. Eric Thomas. My God, when you say that Holly Kwan is a respite from all the shit during the morning and afternoon on KCBS, ay vey. Holly, you're doing a great job. I reconsidered. You sound wonderful. All these people, ladies and gentlemen, the morning sports guy, what a schmucko. Afternoon dreck, evening dreck, the overnight traffic. Oh my God. That's a good comedy event. Then they got the guy, rocks in his mouth. What's his name? Guinness? Shane Guinness. And says it's breezy every fucking weather report. But you know what? Somebody told me this. The only people they hire that can hire, the only at that time of the night, nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do it, especially on KCBS. That was my impression of Brian Murphy. Another moron in the morning. KNBR. Any day now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't wish anybody ill will. I really don't. But listen to these goddamn stations. They're horrible. Brian Murphy. Yeah, you survived 18 years because you could do this a lot. You going to take Larry Bear to lunch again? Brian, Mr. Cars for Kids. Well, who else are you shilling for? I'm Brian Murphy for the Golf Mart at Quantity Credit Union. When I'm not in Marin culling with my wife and making cuckoo with my various sons and talking about their great Little League games, I talk to my wife because I'm Brian Murphy. Said, honey, let's go take a trip to Wiva Islands out in the beautiful Lathrop in the Central Valley where we can jog, go to the boathouse, have a shitty drink, smell the mosquitoes, and pay upwards of $1 million while we gaze at the stars in the middle of nowhere. I'm Brian Murphy, and I will shill for anybody. Just pay me because I've got to feed the family. And Dorcas, they got this guy. Yeah, he's a real brilliant guy. A producer. I hope the $3,000 a month is very handy. He moved to San Francisco. Yeah, that's good. Then we have Papa. Great Papa. It's gone. Yeah, great hire there. Yeah, I'm going to save John Lund. If they ever screw with him, that's Papa. I'm going to go to bat for John Lund because he's a marvel. Yeah, wonderful. Great. Another Bew. Great Papa. You're lucky, Gregory. Yourself. What is it, KBR? Do you have to laugh and giggle every 5 seconds? Papa's weird. Your boss at the 49ers, Gregory, he paved the way for you. He got rid of Ted Robinson. He had an opportunity. Fine. That's why you're on the air at the 49ers. Great Papa. Yeah. Yeah, you're another Bill King and Lon Simmons and Hank Greenwald. My ass, go clean your mouth out with soap. Great Papa. Then they have the afternoon idiots. Kobe Copes. Yeah, great talent. Copeland and Tom Tolbert. Hey, Tom, want to talk about beer again? Geez, it's been a while. Maybe like, I don't know, last show. And we don't really give a damn, Tommy, about your Angels. Guess what, Tom? This just in. Like Notre Dame people who like to think that everybody is interested in Notre Dame alum, especially if they go or went to Notre Dame. We don't give a shit. We don't. You know what we care about Notre Dame? We go to that stadium to watch a football game. We saw the movie, the movie with the kid. What's his name? I forgot. Somebody will mention it. That was a good movie. We don't care about alums, whether it's Notre Dame or Arizona, Tommy. We don't give a shit. We care about sports, moving it along, talking, and not giggling every fucking second and talking about your goddamn beer. If we wanted beer, Tommy, we'd probably go to KQED or we'd go online and go to a beer outlet. We don't go to KNBR, for that matter, many listeners in droves don't anymore, to find out about your beer fetish, Tommy. My fucking God. Folks, I've said this before. Go online. Go to The Fan in New York, WFAN. Just Google it out. You got their site. There's a place you can go on, click on it. You got real sports talk radio. Go to WIP in Philly. Go to WCCO. I think in Chicago, or is it Minneapolis? I forget. But you just get my drift. Google radio sports, Minneapolis, Chicago, LA. LA has much better radio, sports talk, than this Faklecta shithole called the Bay Area, San Francisco. What dreck. Oh, Rich, somebody's crying. Why do you complain? Why do you complain? Who else wouldn't complain? I'm complaining. I'm your spokesperson. God forbid, but I am, yeah. And I get your emails. Some of you don't comment here because I'm not beholden. And I just don't go off crazy and start ripping everybody. There's a few people that I like, not many. I've complimented them. But by and large, an area so vast and supposedly cosmopolitan and eclectic, Silicon Valley and Berkeley, the birthplace of freedom of speech and restaurants and culture and jazz. Yeah, you'd think we would have radio. You'd think we'd have decent television. We have shit and dreck. I could get worse. I could say more obtuse things. You're going to comment on my backdrop. You ought to be fucking lucky that there's somebody out there that's going to bat for you, God forbid. And make fun of me all you want. Thank God there's me in that regard. And you know what? Sometimes I wake up, I'm not happy with myself. I've lost a lot of people in my life, family. But I know, by and large, I speak from the heart. Doesn't make me a genius, but I'm pretty goddamn real and genuine. I don't look at little stupid notes and go off half-cocked so I could get hits. I don't get paid on clicks or hits. You pay me. I'm the employee in this instance. You are the employer. You, folks, women, men, kids, some college students, lawyers, PR people, porn observers, you dictate my being professionally by going on. This is not a pledge drive, but I make my money, and I don't make a lot, folks. I get a lot of response now because word of mouth, whether it's YouTube with subscribers, folks, I rely on you. You dictate my being, good or bad. And yes, guess what? If I had to kiss ass to advertisers, I probably couldn't say about 90% of what I just said. I keep saying that to you guys. I shouldn't have to, but I do, because the most of you who come here are fantastic people, have supported me, whether it's a loan, whether it's outright donations, whether it's whatever. You've made it possible for me to at least pay my bills so I can do this. A lot of you have not. A lot of you trolls come here all the time. I should know better. I know I'm mentioning trolls, God forbid, and shame on me, but they know who they are. You come here and you have the balls to criticize me and you don't donate a fucking penny. So, you know what? I have a early Christmas greeting for you folks, you trolls. Fuck you. How's that? Merry Christmas. I'm sorry. I had to say that. Like many of you who have lives, I don't have much of a life, folks. I lost family. I lost aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews. I have a very small family now that I don't talk to. Okay, I'm not going to go on a whole monologue about that. My existence here is dictated by you. And while I'm no day at the beach, most of the time, I do give you interesting, provocative, genuine takes, opinion, yes, which is a take, and occasionally news in the real deal, not the press release bullshit that a lot of these publications that scoop me, Copy Copes, give you. Oh, that was a big scoop. Yeah, equivalent to the Hindenburg falling down because it had inferior parts. Yeah, Copes. Copes. Geez, I wonder again how Copes got the job. I'm not talking about the program director. I'm talking about his alleged role on the afternoon show with Tolbert. Beer and giggles. Ooh, maybe we should contact Good Housekeeping and contribute to their site because we sure as hell don't talk about sports. That's real talent. And his dad, who worked at KGO, Brian. I wonder if he had anything to do with Adam getting or his daughter, Caroline Copeland. I wonder how she got a job at KGO Television as a producer. I wonder if is that a coincidence? Whatever. Call these people out. Yeah. You ain't gonna see any of this shit in the Chronicle or SF Gate. SF Gate. Yeah. What kind of gate is it? Gate. Gates to hell. And the Bang Papers, Bay Area News Group, another publication that stole from me on the Somerville story. Folks, that's what we've become. They've become. I'm not kissing their ass. Do I make mistakes? Yes. Every day, pretty much. Not every day. But I'm honest about it. Do I sometimes censor comments? Goddamn right. It's my site. When it comes to that, it's a dictatorship, not a democracy. I'm not going to sit here, struggle to get shit on the air, and have some little fucker intern, 28-year-olds with pimples on his face, drinking a fucking, that shit stuff that they put in their body from, what is it, from Australia, the shit that they charge $5 for, whatever that shit is, the sugar crap. Not going to let him fuck with me. Sorry, I get a little edgy, opinionated. But I make mistakes. Of course I do. But I give you an honest bit of content. Not always great. It's not Masterpiece Theater. It's not American Idol. Is that still even on? You know what American Idol is? I loved it. I watched it. I was addicted to it for some time ago when it was on Fox. American Idol, though, is for people who think that, the people that watch Fox, the Fox News Network, who think that American Idol is like a documentary, but another story. I lose a lot of friends here and beyond, lost friendships. Why? Because I'm an imbecile sometimes. Because I don't know what hit me, but I got hit in the eyes, symbolically, metaphorically speaking, with lots of tragedy that I'm not even going to go into that you don't know about. Doesn't give me an excuse, just allows me to do this. And guess what? By extension, give you a little bit of laughs. Because sometimes you have even told me they like the backdrop before the curtain, before the media curtain. They like the fact that I can see my bed in my room near my house, in my house. You know why? Because they thought that was me. They thought they were suddenly, goddamn Mike Wallace because they felt, well, he's real. I hate to talk about myself in the third person, folks. Look at me. I look like a fucking, Shrek. I do. And I take that as a compliment. So to the trolls who call me Shrek and Yul Brenner and, Ollie Velshi, bring it on. Bring it on. What else do I got to talk about? It's hotter than hell. I hate it when it gets hot. I've got air conditioning, but you turn that on and, you start getting fetchy and this shit and that. Folks, lastly, please, please contribute to my site. $5, a dollar, $8, 80, 50. You are my lifeblood. When I'm on, it's because of you. When I get these fucking, pop-ups, sorry, you dictate my existence. I have a lot to say. Sometimes I go overboard, but you know what? I'm not limited by time, short or length, long. This is me, and you got me live and direct. Please, folks, do me a favor. Contribute to my site up on the PayPal. I promise you, I will thank you, and you will see more of me, God willing, in health. That's always. You know what the most important thing in life is? Fuck KMBR and KCBS and the Chronicle and the bullshit television stations. It's your health. That's the most important thing. Dr. Welby to a white courtesy telephone. Thank you.